Yo, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of The Source, and the NBA is officially back. Had some fun betting college basketball over the last week. Had some good nights. Last night definitely wasn't one of them. Actually, the parlay hit last night, so there's that. Overall, pumped that the NBA's back. Let's get into it. Welcome to The Source. The Source. Hey, get the Source. First up, Denver is on the road in Cleveland. This is a 7 p.m. start time. Total set at 222.5. Line is Cleveland minus 2.5. Public very clearly on the Cavs here. Both the tickets and the money leaning Cleveland early. Let's take a look at our spreadsheet. According to the model, the line for this game should be Cleveland minus 2.59. So that gives us no lean at all. It's exactly where the book's at. We got two of the hottest teams in the NBA, at least before the break they were. These are also the two best home teams in the NBA. Cavaliers are 25-6 at home this year. Denver's 27-4 at home. They're also tied for first in the NBA with the best records against the spread at home as well. 20-10-1 against the spread. Both of them are. So right off the bat, we got to be thinking, yo, we're betting the Cavs because they're at home. Something that concerns me a little, right before the All-Star break, the Nuggets went into Miami and beat the Heat. But it's not just the fact that they beat the Heat, it's how they did it. They out-rebounded and outscored Miami in the paint in that game. That concerns me a little bit because Miami has a good physical front court with Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo, and Denver went in there and beat them and out-physicaled them. Out-physical, that's not a word. But you know what I'm saying. Cleveland, that's their strength. Cleveland is first in the NBA over the last month in defensive efficiency at the rim. Protecting the basket is their game. But you know who didn't play in that Heat Nuggets game? Tyler Hero. So yeah, Denver went into Miami and beat the Heat on their home floor, but they were missing their best offensive weapon from the outside. Cleveland's got Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell, both completely healthy. Denver's not going to have Aaron Gordon, but to be fair, Aaron Gordon didn't play in the Heat game either. Jamal Murray listed as questionable. I think I got to side with the public on this one. I'm a little worried that everyone's betting the Cavs and the line hasn't moved yet. Not going to lie, that concerns me a little bit. But I'm still on Cleveland. Give me Cleveland minus 2.5 for a small bet. Next game. Detroit on the road in Orlando. Another 7 p.m. start here. Total sitting at 228.5. Line was Orlando minus 6.5, but the public's all over the Magic, and the books respond to it. They bump it up. We're now looking at Orlando minus 7. Let's take a look at our spreadsheet. According to the model, the line for this game should be Orlando minus 11.24, so we're looking at a full 4-point lean on the Magic. Look, Orlando is 24-10 against the spread in their last 34 games. I hate to just blindly bet a team, but the Magic are cashing bets at a 70.6% rate. That's their cover rate over the last 2.5 months. Also, they're playing the Detroit Pistons. We all know how bad that team's been, and right before the break, they were on a cold streak to even add more icing onto the cake. Detroit was just 9-18 in the last 27 against the spread. This won't make the top bets tonight. Probably going to be a small bet like the Cleveland one, but I'm on the Magic. Give me Orlando minus 7 next game. Boston on the road in Indiana. Another 7 p.m. start here. Total sitting up at 232 for this one. Line was Indiana plus 8.5. We got a pros versus public look here. Public definitely on the Boston Celtics, but look at the sharp money in on Indiana, and the books react. They dropped the line from 8.5 down to 8. Let's take a quick look at the spreadsheet. According to the model, the line for this game should be Indiana plus 11.38. So we're looking at a full 3-point lean on Boston. All right, if this game was 2 or 3 weeks ago, I would be blindly taking the points for the Pacers. I don't care how they looked because Boston had been struggling. If you remember, I mean, I think they went like 2-3 in a 5-game span, and their wins were ugly. They were really struggling. But Jaylen Brown was out. Jason Tatum missed a game or two. Marcus Smart was out. Al Horford missed a game or two. I'm pretty sure Grant Williams missed a game or two as well. But two things. Number one, Boston has covered 6 spreads in a row. They went into the All-Star break 6-0 against the spread in their last 6. It was ugly. It wasn't pretty. It wasn't the Eastern Conference champion Boston Celtics basketball that we're used to seeing, but they were covering even with the injuries. And number two, look at the Boston Celtics lineup now. I mean, look at their projected minutes tonight. All their starters are back. Marcus Smart, Jaylen Brown, everyone's back. No one's even listed as questionable. So the Boston Celtics are fully healthy for the first time in a while. And keep in mind, remember what the Celtics did last year after the All-Star break. They got hot as hell. Celtics finished the season 17-5 after the All-Star break. And we have to mention that they are playing the Pacers. This team is just 3-16 in their last 19 basketball games. Indiana looks terrible. But keep in mind, we're just getting back from the All-Star break. This Pacers team, if you rewind back to late December into January, they went 8-2 in a 10-game stretch. Would it be completely crazy if the Pacers came out of the All-Star break and started winning some games again? Of course not. The All-Star break always seems to shake things up. Keep that in mind. I'm not taking the points though. I'm going with the fully healthy Eastern Conference champions. I don't even care if the line dropped a half point. I know that looks bad for a Celtics bet, but I'm on the Celtics. Give me Boston -8 next game. Pelicans on the road up in Canada to play the Raps. This is a 7:30 p.m. start. Total sitting at 226. Line was Toronto -5.5. Action is pretty even on this one. Money maybe slightly leaning New Orleans, nothing crazy. Line moves up from 5.5. We're now looking at Toronto -6. Let's take a look at our spreadsheet. According to the model, the line for this game should be Toronto -3.49. So we're looking at a 2.5 point lean on the Pelicans. So let's give the Raptors some credit. I mean, Toronto went into the break, winning 5 of their last 6. Now, keep in mind, 2 of those 5 wins were home games against the Pistons and the Spurs, and they actually almost lost to Detroit. I think I had Detroit +8 or something in that game and covered. They actually almost lost, but still, 5-1 in their last 6 is something to give them credit for. Looks like OG Anunoby may return to the lineup for the Raptors tonight. He's been out for about a month. Here's the thing. I love OG Anunoby. I wish he was on the Knicks, for real. But Toronto started playing better after he got hurt. Also, the Raps are so deep in that position. I mean, they got Precious Achiuwa, Chris Boucher, even Thaddeus Young. I mean, I'm not saying OG Anunoby returning is a non-factor. I'm just saying the Raptors they're good at the stretch forward. So him returning to the lineup doesn't really move the needle for me. I really don't trust the Raptors, but I also don't trust the Pelicans on the road at all. They're just 10-19 straight up on the road and 11-17-1 against the spread on the road so far this season, 25th in the NBA. I hate that I'm starting this show off with 4 straight favorites, but I'm on Toronto here. But actually, my favorite bet in this game might be CJ McCollum over PRAs. When Zion Williamson is off the court, CJ McCollum is 8-3 to the over on his PRAs. So I'm taking CJ McCollum over 30.5 PRAs and Toronto -6 next game. Memphis Grizzlies are in Philadelphia. This is a 7:30 p.m. tip. Total set at 230.5. This line was Philly -4, and everyone's on Philly. Public's leaning Philly, sharp money all over Philly, but the line actually drops down from 4 to 3.5. You know what that means. It's a trap. Let's take a quick look at our spreadsheet. According to the model, the line for this game should be Philly -4.89. That's about a point and a half lean on the Sixers. So where I want to start in this matchup is the 3-point shot, because Memphis has been so bad at defending the outside shot. The Grizzlies in the last month are just 27th in the NBA defending the 3-point shot. Most likely this is because Steven Adams has been out and Memphis is forced to bring more help defense inside, collapse in the paint, which results in more open shots from outside. Now, the Sixers haven't taken a ton of 3-point shots. They're just 16th in the NBA over the last month in 3-point frequency. But when they do take them, they make them. They're 3rd in 3-point efficiency over the last month. But since we're talking about Philly's shot distribution, look how inefficient this team has been from inside the 3-point line. 22nd in efficiency at the rim, 27th from mid-range. That's the Grizzlies' defensive strength. They've actually been really good defending those zones. In fact, I believe they're 7th at the rim and 8th in mid-range over the last month. So yeah, do I think Philly's going to get some good looks from outside, and do I think that they'll hit them? Yes, but I don't know how much I trust this Sixers offense outside of the 3-point shot. Now on defense, the Sixers have been solid defending the 3-point shot, and they've been solid defending the mid-range shot, but they still have struggled to protect the basket. Just 26th in the NBA in defensive efficiency at the rim over the last month. That's huge when you're playing the Grizzlies, because you know Ja Morant's going to attack the rim all game. That's what he does. I'm fading the public on this one. I'm taking the points. This has a shot at making the top bets. I'm on the Grizzlies here. Give me Memphis +3.5 next game. Spurs are on the road in Dallas. This is an 8:30 p.m. start time. Totals all the way up at 239.5, as most Spurs games are. This line was Dallas -13.5. We got a pros versus public look here. Public is definitely on the Mavs, but look at the sharp money in on San Antonio. Books seem to side with the public on this one. They moved the line up from 13.5 to 14. Let's take a quick look at our spreadsheet. According to the model, the line for this game should be Dallas -12.34. So we're looking at a slight lean on the Spurs, about a point and a half. I know that the Mavs have definitely looked better since adding Kyrie to the roster. They definitely are playing with a new energy, and I fully expect them to control this game, but laying 14 points in the first game after an all-star break with a team that's really still unproven. This rotation has not played a ton of minutes together. I can't do it. So I'm on the Spurs, but it won't be a huge bet. It might not even make the final ticket. Give me San Antonio plus 14 next game. OKC on the road in Utah. This is a 9 p.m. start. Totals all the way up to 239.5. This line was Utah minus 2.5. This line's been on the move. It got as low as Utah plus 1. Then it was at a pick'em. This graphic on the screen stops at 11 a.m., but I'm recording this around 1 p.m. I think it's Utah minus 1 now. Public all over the Thunder in this one. In fact, Oklahoma City is the most public play on the board tonight. Let's take a look at our spreadsheet. According to the model, the line for this game should be Utah minus 4.1. So we're looking at a pretty solid lean on the Jazz, 3 or 4 points, depending on what the line is right now. I know everyone's talking about the Lakers-Warriors game, and we'll get to that in a second. But honestly, as far as playoff implications go, this might be the biggest game of the night. This is the 10 seed versus the 11 seed. Winning team is sitting in a play-in spot. Losing team is sitting out of a play-in spot. Colin Sexton is going to miss this one for Utah, which sucks. He's their starting point guard right now. But the thing is, he's been more of a scoring guard for them since taking over the starting job. Which in my opinion is easier to replace. Actually, the best facilitator on the Jazz over the last handful of games has been Taylor Horton-Tucker, which is why Prop Beaver likes Horton-Tucker over 6.5 assists. There you go. I don't know if he tweeted that one out yet or not, but he likes that. Horton-Tucker over 6.5 assists. For me, this is just a straight fade of the most public bet on the board. Everyone's on Oklahoma City. To be fair, the books did react to it, though. Keep in mind, yeah, Oklahoma City is probably the more talented team top to bottom. It's close, but they probably have the slight edge. But this game is in Utah. OKC is still just 11-17 on the road this year. The Jazz may have lost their last 3 home games right before the break, but they're still 18-12 at home on the year. This is still a very good home team, the Jazz. Fading the public, I'm on the Jazz here, money line or -1, whatever the final line is. I'm always on that -110, so whatever that is. Give me Utah. I'm also going to tail Prop Beaver with Horton-Tucker over 6.5 assists. Next game. Portland on the road in Sacramento. This is a 10 p.m. start. Totals all the way up at 240.5, which is on par for the Portland Blazers. Line was Sacramento minus 5.5. Action's pretty even on this one. Maybe some slight sharp money in on the Kings. Books do react to it, though. They move the line a full point. We're looking at Kings minus 6.5 now. Let's take a look at the spreadsheet. According to the model, the line for this game should be Sacramento minus 4.81. So we're looking at a 1.5, 2-point lean on the Blazers. Anthony Simons is going to miss some time for Portland, and that really sucks for them because not only is he the second leading scorer on the team behind Lillard, but he's also one of the best 3-point shooters in the NBA this season. Simons has made 196 3-point shots this year. That's second in the NBA to only Buddy Hield. Losing a piece like that absolutely sucks, especially when you're talking about a team in Portland that's so reliant on their scoring. And to make matters worse, Portland doesn't really have a good replacement for those minutes. I mean, they're probably going to be replaced with Cam Reddish, Matisse Thybulle, Shaedon Sharpe. Not that these guys are scrubs, but they're definitely not Simons. Good news for Portland, though. You're playing the Kings, and honestly, this matchup is just a battle of whose defense is worse. Over the last month, Portland's 30th in the NBA in defensive efficiency. Sacramento, 22nd. I was on Portland early. My first lean was definitely Blazers. That line movement from 5.5 to 6.5 definitely scares me. I'm still on the Blazers, but it's just a lean. I probably won't bet this game. But for this video's sake, I will pick Portland plus 5.5 next game. Golden State Warriors in LA to play the Lakers. This is a 10 p.m. start. Totals at 238.5, and this line was Lakers minus 5. But everyone is betting the Lakers here, and I mean everyone. This is a very public side. Books react to it too. Line moves to 5.5. Actually, now we're looking at Lakers minus 6. Let's look at our spreadsheet. According to the model, the line for this game should be Lakers minus 1.94. So that's a 4-point lean on Golden State. But keep in mind, there's so many new pieces and injuries involved in this matchup that we should just throw the model out. Obviously, pumped to watch this game on TNT. Playoff implications, stars, Lakers, Warriors should be awesome. As far as betting goes, I'm definitely on Golden State, 100%. Yes, this new Lakers rotation is definitely exciting. Obviously, you still got LeBron and AD, but the other 3 starters, brand new. Vanderbilt, Malik Beasley, D'Angelo Russell. 3 new starters in the Lakers lineup. And obviously, this is a desperation spot for LA. They're sitting 3 spots out of the play-in right now. No Steph Curry. This is a must-win spot. It's a desperation spot for the Lakers. I completely understand why the public is on the Lakers here. That being said, we just had the All-Star break, right? You got the Lakers, first-year head coach, a starting 5 that's played a total of 13 minutes together in their career against Steve Kerr and a Warriors team that's mostly comprised of guys that have been playing together all season, most of them multiple seasons. I know there's no Steph Curry, and I know there's no Andrew Wiggins as well, but I can't lay 6 with this team that's still figuring themselves out, in my opinion. I'm sure they'll play hard. Maybe they'll win, but I'm not laying the points. Give me Golden State plus 6. this one has a chance of making the top bet. Forgot to record this part. So if anything changes with any of these bets, I'll post it on Twitter. So give me a follow there if you're interested. Also, if you want the VIP tickets, which has the top bets and the parlay of the day, which have been hot. I was hot for 2 or 3 weeks heading into the All-Star break. Hopefully that continues. If you're interested in that, head over to KyleKirms.com or download the Sauce Network app.